When all of us have finished dinner, I get up to grab my coat and my oil lamp. Excuse me, I'll be going out for a while. I need to find my wife. She has been out since this morning, and I'm getting very worried. It's probably nothing, but I still want to go search for her just in case. I step out of the door, but frantic footsteps behind me make me look back. Both Maribel and Madalene has followed me with identical worried expressions. What is it? It is all right. I'm just going to go look for my wife. I will be back as soon as I find her. Can we come with you? 2 extra pairs of eyes should help speed up your search for your wife.
Me too. I want to go too.
I consider their offer for a moment. I briefly think about turning them down, but something in their eager expressions induced me to agree. I finally nod, smiling gratefully. Thank you. I appreciate it. Holding my oil lamp, I make my way down the path with the 2 guests behind me. My pace slows unconsciously as I try to decide where I should look first. Should I go to the market? Did Madalene head to the market early in the morning? Lost in thought, I almost jump out of my skin when Madalene suddenly breaks the silence. Hey, can I ask you something? Yes. Are you worried about your wife? Of course I am, but I'm sure Madalene will be fine. She always returns home to me safe and sound after all. One time, she went to gather herbs for her daughter and never came back. I panicked like any husband would and set out to look for her. I found her in a tavern, drinking. She had simply lost track of time and didn't realize it was so late until I showed up behind her, panting from the excursion of running all over town. Maybe I should go to Yigmund's tavern this time as well. Yigmund's tavern is closed. The owner passed away last winter. His son ended up selling the place, and it's being rebuilt into another house. My footsteps falter for a moment. I don't recall that happening. That must be so. It did not occur to me to question it. My memory is bad after all. I'm sure it must be true.
Sir, if I may, can I ask a question?
Yes?
What would you do if something happened to your wife?
Maribel! Nothing has happened to her, don't worry.
Do you even know where to find her?
I will just keep on walking till I find her. I pat Maribel's head as she looks up at me with those big, innocent eyes. You will understand when you get married. The rest of the journey passes in silence. I take my usual route to the town, keeping an eye out for Madalene the whole time. I pause hesitantly when I come to a crossroads with a new path that leads into the forest. This is certainly inconvenient. Madalene could have taken either path. Which way should I go? I think to myself for a moment before pointing at the forest. I think my adventurous wife would go this way. Madalene shakes her head, frowning, while Maribel laughs, as if encouraging me to follow the path. The twists and turns of this path feel familiar. My feet seem to be taking me along the path without my controlling it. Maybe this path is not totally new after all? It does remind me of... Yes. I remember this place. Madalene's face brightens, and she gives a cheerful smile. Madalene is at the end of this path. I am sure of it. I try to increase the pace of my footsteps in haste, though I do not seem to feel the difference. The path seems to go on forever, and I try to curb my impatience by starting a conversation with my guests. We used to come here every day with our daughter. We like going to the wishing well. It's a steep climb though, since the well is atop a cliff. Still, every day we would make our way up to the cliff, rain or shine, to pray for our daughter's recovery. However, this time, I did not even need to ascend the cliff before noticing the sight that awaits me. No, No. Madalene lies on the slope, her head twisted in an unnatural angle. Her clothes are caked in mud. Even from this distance, I can tell that there is no life remaining in her. Oh no. There's a moment of dead silence where time seems to stop. My arm reaches out towards my wife, trembling in disbelief. No, it can't be. I lunge forwards at her, already doubled over with sobs. Madalene holds me back with a surprising amount of strength, while Maribel clings to my foot, shaking slightly. No! No! What am I supposed to do now without you? Both of you have left me. You can't leave me like this. My legs give out, and my knees collide against the ground, but the pain barely registers in my mind. I can't tear my eyes away from Madalene's body as I crawl towards it. Don't leave me alone. At least take me with you. Madalene? I cry insistently in anguish and devastation as the two guests wrap their arms around me, offering whatever comfort they can. My wails echo through the quiet night, increasing the volume rather than fading, as though I hope to pass on all the things I never got the chance to tell her through the sheer volume of my voice, or wake myself from this horrible nightmare. I don't know how long I knelt there, cradling Madalene's broken body and weeping. Eventually, the two guests coaxed me to loosen my grip on her and heave me to my feet. In a daze, I let them lead me home, where I collapse into my armchair immediately. The sight of Madalene is buried into my mind, causing me to convulse in horror every so often. I want to scream and shout to the world about my pain, my helplessness, the anger I feel coursing through my body, but I've used up all my energy crying.
Here, sir, drink this. You will feel better.
I smile weakly and accept the cup of tea. I appreciate her concern, but this is something that tea cannot fix. The image of my wife's body flashes across my mind again, and I shudder with another great sob. I can't let my beloved wife lie there, drenched in the mud and rain, or even worse, possibly eaten by wild animals. We need to bury her. I must go back and get her body at once. No, sir, stay here. I will get some help from the town and bury her beside your child. No, I can't possibly trouble you. This is my duty as a husband, to see Madalene's burial.
It's no trouble at all.
Maribel, can you keep the good sir here company until I return?
Of course.
I will be back as soon as I can then. Madalene gives a small, comforting smile and leaves. Her child sits in the armchair beside me, watching me cautiously, as if unsure what to do. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid. For some reason, my head is now clear. Madalene wouldn't want me to do anything stupid as well. She always told me that if anything happened to her, the first thing I must do is celebrate everything she has ever done for me and live on for her sake. Thank you for putting up with me for all these years, Madalene. Thank you for... Tears pour out of my eyes as all the memories I shared with Madalene throughout my life start rushing into my mind. My heart feels as if it's being ripped apart into a million pieces.
Hey!
The young girl hits me with her cow toy. Startled, I look at her blearily, still half blinded by my tears. Don't you think it would be more appropriate for you to say all these with a smile at her funeral where she can hear you? The young girl smiles bright. I pause for a moment, wiping the tears away. She's right. Madalene has always hated it when I cried. Even during Mirabelle's funeral, she refused to shed tears in front of me. She was a much stronger person than I am. What will I do without her now? I almost sink back into the despair, but push away the darkness with great effort. You're right. Aren't I? That was somehow Mirabelle. That was how Mirabelle always replied when we told her that she was right. It brings a small smile to my face as I give her the same reply as I would have given to Mirabelle. You are. Calm for the moment, I take a sip from the cup of tea. It tastes sweet. I smile a little before giving a heavy sigh. Madalene, I can't believe she's really gone. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about my wife is the day of our wedding. Our town was merely a quaint little village back then. The wedding ceremonies mainly consisted of a lot of partying and cheering, but my mother insisted that we at least follow the form that the big cities had. The village elder had just stamped his seal on our marriage document and declared us husband and wife, and the villagers started chanting around us, urging for us to kiss. Laughing, half in the embarrassment and half in amusement, we leaned in to kiss each other as the cheers erupted around us. When she pulled away, there was the stupidest smile on her face. I was sure I had the same dumb grin on my face, partly still in disbelief that I had finally married the woman of my dreams. She peeked at me through her eyelashes and whispered to me, "Finally." "Hey, are you really okay? Mirabelle, what do you think? His wife just died. Just died." Mirabelle's voice brings me back to the present. I shake my head to clear the lingering memory from my mind and try to crack a smile, nodding what I hope is a reassuring manner. "Yes, thank you for asking." I keep my eyes on the fireplace, not wanting to see the child's concerned expression. From the corner of my eye, I notice Mirabelle stifling a yawn. "If you're tired, go to sleep." "Then can you sing me a song?" I blink in surprise, caught off guard by this request. I can't really remember any good songs right now, but I suppose I have nothing better to do. This will be a good distraction for now. Of course I can. I set my tea aside and clear my throat, shifting my armchair closer to her. Mirabelle hugs her cow doll tightly to her chest and sighs happily as she curls up into a ball in the armchair. I reach out to stroke her hair as I sing. I don't know if I should actually sing or not. I've just looked in to tell you, my dear. There's 5 eggs in one nest in yonder hawthorn tree. Mirabelle seems to be the kind who can fall asleep easily. I can probably stop singing already, but just to be safe, I continue patting her head gently and crooning softly. I'm teaching them to sing, you know, as yet one cannot sing. But the nightingale, I'm told, will have a lovely voice one day. I fall silent for a moment and stop my hand motions, but Mirabelle bumps her head up a little against my hand. "Continue, please." I smile, resuming my actions. I think I hear them calling me, and so I must not stay. I know you will not mind if I pay them a visit. For one day, I know you will sing as well as them. I'll call you again one day and tell you something more. Good night, my love. The nightingale awaits to sing you in your dreams. I look down to check, and as expected, Mirabelle has drifted off to sleep, all the while still clinging onto her cow doll. Good night, Mirabelle. I close my eyes as well, drowsy with exhaustion from all that has happened today. As sleep overtakes me, I keep repeating the same thought in my mind, hoping by some miracle I will not forget it the next day. Remember to attend Madalene's funeral and burial.